Hello, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly reading. I am doing a special reading this week for the elements, and I'm using a 4-element spread, so it's a little different than what you're used to, but we're looking at the question of what's our twin flame mission. So many of you do ask this question in private readings, so I thought I would bring it to the channel and see what you thought. And if you're new, welcome. Just keep in mind this is a general reading for the collective, so it may not resonate with everybody. There's a lot of beautiful earth signs out there. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can check out the other videos in this series that correspond with your personal planets, your rising, your moon, or your Venus. So these are good for sun, moon, rising, Venus, is what I was trying to say. And welcome back to those of you who have been subscribed for a while from the beginning, and welcome new subscribers too. Okay, so I'm going to use the 4-element spread here. We're going to do Earth, which is looking at the true nature of the mission. Air is how you can use your reasoning and logic and communication skills to further the mission, to support it. We'll look at fire, which is the emotions you can bring to the mission or release from to better serve the mission. And 4 will be water. How do we move, flow on from here? Okay, and then in the extended, I'll use the same deck, and I'm going to look at any blocks or challenges with regard to the mission of this connection, messages to you from the universe, messages to you from this other person that you're dealing with, may even be information you don't know but would find helpful or useful, and then outcome and timing, as well as oracle. I've got whispers of love, Magdalene, and romance angels. So the extended will be a bit longer. This part will be a little bit more to the point. Okay, let's get going here for beautiful earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Aww. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to walk through it, and then of course I'm going to clarify everything to make sure that I've got my initial interpretation on point. I think your mission here is about working through some abandonment issues. This can be mindset, a mindset where within the connection you're always feeling somehow on the outside. I mean, this can, in normal relationships, be ghosting or just being cut off or shut off. But because we're talking about mission here, this feels like it's a mission in the connection here about abandonment. What that means, how to heal it. If you look at these two people, they're sort of clutching to each other, and they're standing right outside in the bitter cold, or right outside of a warm church. The light is on. This is stained glass, and it's illuminated from the inside. And if these two people would go around the corner and go into the door of the church, they would easily find comfort and warmth and shelter. So if you get where I'm headed here, I think it's saying you have what you need in each other to find the comfort and the warmth in the connection. And maybe it's about overcoming some issues around abandonment. I say that, but we'll see in the clarifications. Here, the communication. What can you use? The air sign comes up as Page of Cups. That's a message of love or apology. I feel that this can be really about healing, and recognizing when we do or say things in our connections that have one or the other of us feeling shut out. Some people, especially earth signs, and it's not a surprise to me that a Pentacles, an earth element, comes up in the earth position of the mission. It's about feeling grounded and stable. This is not grounded and stable. This is chaotic. And sometimes just a simple, kind word of love, of adoration, of admiration, of apology can heal 1,000 cuts, if you get my drift. The element of fire here shows up as Virgo, so there we have more earth energy. What emotions can you bring to or release from to better serve this connection? The Hermit tends to be very withdrawn and closed off, tends to be very introverted unto himself. He's also a guide, though. If you look at the lantern, right? While he goes off to do some inner work, and we call this the sage of the tarot, it is about doing the inner work to better understand yourself and how you function in this connection. The whole point is to come out of that with the lantern and share what you've learned. So I kind of feel like this is a balance. It is the emotion you can bring to the connection, to this mission, is wisdom, is your leadership, is shining the light, you know, lighting the path for your twin, for your soulmate, so they can find their way in the darkness, especially since this is part of the mission. But what you can take away, the emotions you can kind of release, is the tendency to retreat, the tendency to be closed off and inaccessible on an emotional level. So I feel this card strikes a beautiful balance here for you in this connection, in the mission, because there's a big tendency in the face of this kind of potential loss or abandonment, feelings of being shut out and unable to access the warmth within the connection, Earth sign, right? This can be a boon, but it can also be, it can be a blessing, it can be a curse. So I almost feel like this is a perfect card, and you showing up right here in this reading for those of you who are Virgos or have Virgo in your chart, that's an important key to this whole connection. And then how do you flow on from here? Water sign, Two of Cups. Remember, this is soulmates here. So I feel like you just have to stay the course, stay on your path. I love that these two come up in alignment. You have to stay on the path. That's the answer. Love each other, Two of Cups. Choose each other every day. I said this in the other video. I can't remember. I'm not really sure which one it was, but might have been fire. I do feel like that's when you meet couples who have been together for like 30 years, 40 years, right? And you ask them, how do you do it? How does anybody stay together that long? And they often say, most frequently, we choose each other every day. You have to choose each other every day. You get up, you thank the universe that you're drawing breath, and then you ask for blessings for your partner, and you choose them every day. It's just a thought. Okay, let's look at this. Well, that wanted to come out. King of Wands, Leo energy there. Whew, standing up for yourself, going for what you want. Very powerful magnetic energy. You could be dealing with a Leo here, Earth sign. I'm not surprised that popped out. For those of you who have been watching any of the earth readings, the earth comes out in fire and the fire comes out in earth, and it's usually a dance. We have had a lot of Virgo Leo energy in the individual zodiacs, so I'm not really surprised. Yes, so there's, wow. King of Wands with Seven of Swords. We're talking about the mission here. There may have been an abandonment, a perceived abandonment based on somebody who either was not on the level, not being truthful. It could have been this energy. It doesn't have to be a fire sign or a Leo, but you get my drift. Somebody very magnetic and powerful, a powerful presence, I mean to say, not, you know, just that they're bigger, they're larger than life in the connection to you. So this could be you, Earth sign. It's possible, but whoever this is might have not been on the level, and it caused some measure of instability in the connection, and a sense of abandonment, a perception of not being worthy or valued in the connection. And that's what the mission is about, is getting beyond that. moving past it. Yes, Temperance on the bottom of the deck. This is, I love that coming out here because we're trying to balance the energies. We're trying to transmute this connection. This card reminds me of the alchemist, right? Transmute the connection, take it from something ordinary and maybe even less than to something magnificent that looks more like this. That's part of the mission for these groups of earth signs that I'm speaking to. If there's been some infidelity in this connection, if there's been any third-party energy, if there was a lack of candor or truthfulness, or someone that just hasn't been trustworthy within this connection. And again, I'm not saying who's who. You know your storyline. If this is present in your connection or has been a part of your journey, then your mission is to balance the energies and transmute this. This is also a card of patience. So you have to be patient as you work to transmute this from something ordinary into extraordinary. But the potential is there if you choose the mission. Page of Cups. Air element here. How can you use your reasoning, logic, and communication to support the mission? I think this is communicate. The pages are communicators. They're messengers, right? So if there's a message of love, a message of admiration, a message of adoration, a message of apology, you can use your skills to talk about the fears. You can use your communication skills to step forward in love first, and then be honest and out in the open about the fears, the things that might be going on behind the scenes when you're uncertain, when you're unsure. If it's you here, Earth sign, that have been in this role where you have felt abandoned, where you have felt shut out, then it would be you that would be communicating about your fear of what's being kept from you, what's being hidden from you. See? And that's where we come back to Seven of Swords. Do you get my drift? I feel like I'm speaking to a certain group of earth signs here who may have a lot of ongoing fear about this kind of thing happening again. And the only way out is through, as I've been saying in almost all these readings, and I feel like that communicating and keeping a clear channel of communication about the fears, and this may be your divine counterpart that has the fear. It may be your divine counterpart who has abandonment issues. I'm just saying, you know, you can flip it around either way, but it's about talking through and working through the fears together. There you go. Three of Pentacles. So that's underneath. I feel that's a pretty strong signal that you're supposed to be working through this together. It isn't just one person that does all this work. Notice how these two people are here helping this artisan. So it's you, your divine counterpart, and spirit all coming together to help create the masterpiece, right? Beautiful. To create this. But you do have to work through all of it together. Whenever there's fear around something unknown, or whether there's concern about being shut out, closed off, I'm getting the feeling I'm talking to people either in union or in separation who have an issue around communicating feelings. And that's how we get here. That's how we get to Five of Pentacles, is because we don't take even the smallest, simplest of steps to communicate our feelings. This is small. This is Page. This is not Queen of Cups, King of Cups. It's not even the Ace. It's a Page. It's a small, the littlest, smallest gesture will go a very long way to calming fears and promoting the kind of stability that is needed in this connection, because that Five of Pentacles is not stable. Hermit. Here in the fire position, the emotions you can either bring to or release from to support the mission here. There's the Ace of Cups. Yeah, you're showing the way. You're showing the divinity. If you're Hello, Laura. If you're in the energy, the emotional energy of the Hermit, and you're closed off, you're going to miss this. So that's an emotion that needs to go. If you're in the Hermit energy here, Earth sign, and you're acting as the guide, right? You're lighting the path for your divine counterpart and showing them the way to understand the divinity of this gift, the divinity of this love. This is brand new love available to this connection to serve and help this mission. Look, there's a lot of love here between the two of you. I'm going to pull one more card because they're Queen of Pentacles. There we go, Earth sign showing right up in the reading here. Yes, so it's not just about the emotion of the Hermit lighting the path is a very generous and kind and considerate thing to do. It can also bring stability. So as the Queen of Pentacles, what you're doing, you're shifting from Hermit to Queen of Pentacles. I can't think of a more beautiful way to look at this for yourselves. Listen, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I'm one of you. I am a Virgo. So I actually, this really speaks to me because I have the tendency to be like a recluse. I have a tendency to shut down. I have a tendency to withhold my feelings because I'm afraid of how they will be perceived or responded to. And because I fear having the door closed in my face yet again. So, I mean, I've been on the same journey you're on. I know our stories are different. Our timelines are different. But my gosh, my connection's been going on for 28 years and the cycle repeats every 7 to 10 years or so. So I have learned, I have been almost conditioned to expect this. And so what I do, and I'm only sharing this so you can see how even this storyline speaks to me as well. I'm one of you. We're a team here. So I especially for you Earth signs to help you understand and see how this can be playing out. So I have to release my need to protect myself all the time on an emotional level by hiding out, by retreating, by clamming up. And I have to bring my wisdom to the connection on an emotional level. I have to light the path so my divine counterpart feels nurtured and on solid ground and understands, so I can communicate the power of the love and just how much of a divine gift it is. See where I'm going? I also love the elevation from, and I say elevation because from Hermit to Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is pretty much out front. Okay. She's, oh my goodness, didn't even turn my phone off. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I did. I don't know where that's coming from. She's very grounded, very stable, yes, but she also is, she's a nurturer, caretaker, and takes care of herself. So doing this is nice if it serves you well. But if you're in Hermit energy and you're just closing off the world, then that's not taking care of yourself. So I sort of like the balance here of the message because it's partly for the connection, the mission, but it's also for you. Look what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, that's just confirmation. I'm not going to use it. Okay, the water element. How do you move or flow on from here? Well, you accept what you are. Soulmates, Two of Cups. Wow. Emperor's on the bottom. That's divine masculine energy. It's also a card of Aries, ruled by Mars. I'm feeling a fire energy here in the other person you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be a fire sign, but they may have a lot of fire in their chart. And possibly even just their progressed natal chart, which I won't go into, but it's, you know, what's happening in your chart today as we progress it. But I almost feel like the way you move on from here, there was a broken heart. Obviously, we've got the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles as part of this mission. And transmuting that emptiness and instability into something very stable and grounded, right? Queen of Pentacles energy. So I've got that and working together to do it. Three of Pentacles. But now we've got Nine of Pentacles, which is more Virgo energy, and the Three of Swords. And I'm just going to leave those two right now so I can talk about the soulmates moving on to calmer waters. Two of Cups to Six of Swords. This is clearing. This is Six of Swords. Swords is mental energy. And even though we're talking about water and how you move and flow forward, well, you flow forward by sticking together and better understanding what went on before you move on. So it's almost like you have to communicate about it, and that's going to bring up a lot of fear. And you have to light the path for your partner so they understand the value of what you have, what you've been gifted. And smack in the middle of these two cards comes independence and heartbreak. This normally represents a single person, normally a single woman, somebody who's very independent on their own, very much an attractor of all that they want and desire. They are solid and stable and grounded, obviously, and it's almost like nines are about completion. So they've got the stability that they didn't have, or that they had and lost. So stay with me here, Earth sign. If you had a thing and then you lost it, and then you're working to get back on your feet, find your stability and your comfort with yourself. That's Queen of Pentacles. So we got the Queen and we got the Nine. And we're going to move on from this heartbreak. This is healed. I know I don't do reversals in tarot, but in my showing up here, what right next to this Six of Swords tells me that the swords have fallen out and you're moving on beyond this. That's how you move on. You move on. How do we move on or flow from here? You move on. You get past this and you do it together. And underneath we have divine masculine energy. Someone's got to take the reins here. Someone's got to be in the control seat. And that can be you, Earth sign. It can be your divine counterpart. It doesn't matter, but this is divine masculine energy. And I kind of feel like if you're in union now, you know what that's about. If you're in separation, this may be heralding a return of a divine masculine, or you as divine masculine returning to help this connection move to smoother waters. I love this. It's giving me so much clarity for my own situation. I hope you found it helpful as well. As I said, if this is working for you and you're like, that's my story, the link to the extended is below, and I'm going to go into much greater detail there. Otherwise, I'm wishing you a wonderful day, a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on a future reading. Take care. Bye.